to this beat.
Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so you can continue to get the best daily Gamecocks coverage anywhere. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. Yo, we talking Don Staley. We talking Aliyah Boston. We are talking to Don Staley and Aliyah Boston repeating as Naismith Awards recipients. Naismith Awards recipients. It's amazing. It's awesome. Don Staley. Let's start with Don Staley. Don Staley is recognized as the GOAT. And if it's not universal, it should be universal right now. It should be universal. Because we're talking about, when I say the GOAT, I'm talking about as a player and as a coach. Player and coach. Don Staley is universally recognized as the best point guard women's basketball player to put on some sneakers. Best. I'm talking about in high school. I'm talking about in college. I'm talking about in the WNBA. I'm talking about in the Olympics. She is the standard bearer of point guards that put on shoes. Okay? Let's start with that. Don Staley, as a coach, turned around a Temple program, led them to conference championship. Don Staley, as a South Carolina Gamecocks coach, started with a dormant program averaging 400 to 500 fans at games. And a good portion of those was family and friends, to selling out 11, 13, 14, 15,000 at the Colonial Life Arena. Don Staley picked up this program, got 2 national championships. Would have been 3 if it wasn't for the COVID. Multiple SEC championships. She won the Naismith Coach of the Year. Back-to-back years. Don Staley is amazing. And it's only going to get better. Don Staley's pitch to recruits. Because everybody can't play for Don Staley. We've had multiple players. Especially in this transfer era, to transfer out of South Carolina because of I ain't getting enough playing time. I was a star in high school. I was a whatever ranked player, 10, 12, 4, 5. It don't matter. But at South Carolina, everybody's good. Everybody's highly ranked. So you have done. You ain't gonna. It ain't no such thing as coming into the Don Staley program and I'm just gonna start, or I'm gonna get all the playing time. You have to wait your turn, and in order for and then along with waiting your turn, you are growing as a basketball player, you are growing as a young woman, and you are growing as a scholar. But everybody can't deal with that. So I love in football, in college football, we talk about the culture of Shane Beamer. We talk about the culture of Shane Beamer, changing the culture. I love the culture of Don Staley. And it's all about bettering themselves as women and as basketball players and helping to protect them in the future, helping to mold them to be great women 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. Because it's not just about the 4 or 5 years here in college. And I love that about Don Staley. Along with recruiting the best that we can get here in South Carolina. Don Staley, I salute you, girl. Aliyah Boston. Aliyah Boston won the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. Back-to-back years. What else can we say? What can we say new about Aliyah Boston? What can we say? Aliyah Boston. Last year she won the Naismith Player of the Year. This year was Caitlin Clark. Okay, there was a lot of back and forth. Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, throw Angel Reese in there. I like the look. I like the look holistically. Is that the term? Holistically. I like to look at everything, outside of the box. Outside of the box. And I'm an analytics guy. So, with that being said, and not because I'm a South Carolina homer, I say that the best player on the best team should be the National Player of the Year. That's what I say. And I say that because it's right here. Resumes matter. Minutes matter. And who's on your team matter. All right? So, if we break it down like that, Aliyah Boston averages less than 30 minutes a game for the season. Okay? So we talk about, Aliyah Boston's her stats are down. Well, she's playing less than 30 minutes. Let's start with that. And she still average over double-double, okay? Let's begin with that. Okay? On her team, she has Zaya Cook, third-team All-American, first-team SEC. Okay? On her team. This is the starting five, okay? This is the starting five. Okay, then we got Bree Bill, who was a honorable mention for SEC team, was a finalist for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. That's on the team. All right? We got Camila Cardozo, who was a sixth woman of the year in the SEC. So teams matter. And resumes matter because South Carolina's dominant. We ain't lost the game. So, when you dominate every game, you ain't going to play as many minutes. Okay? No shade to Caitlin Clark. No shade. But Caitlin Clark averaged over 35 minutes a game. Over 35 minutes a game. Okay, so, and then her supporting roster, her supporting starting five isn't as strong as South Carolina. All right? So everything offensively runs through Caitlin Clark. Everything will run through Aliyah Boston on South Carolina. You got to. You got so many players. So it's a lot of ways you can look at it. I choose to look at it as what would happen with Caitlin Clark if she was on the South Carolina roster. Okay? Number one, she won't be averaging 40 points, 30 points, 12, all these gaudy stats, all right? Because it's got awesome players around her, okay? And what would happen if you put Aliyah Boston on Iowa, all right? And then if we just take stats out of it, and you also, this is offensive and defense. Both. That makes a player. The gaudy stats that Caitlin Clark has is offensive. All right? And Aliyah Boston, you have offensive and defensive. She happened to be the Defensive Player of the Year. Don't forget that. Caitlin Clark, her defense is suspect. And say it just like this for him. Just suspect. Wonderful offensive player. But enough about that. We can debate that another time. Aliyah Boston won Defensive Player of the Year. She's won all these awards. First team AP All-American multiple times for 3 years in a row. SEC Player of the Year. Second consecutive season. Just amazing player, amazing talent. And what we have at the University of South Carolina is repeat awards. And this is on the first time. First time this happened where we have the repeat Coach of the Year and repeat Defensive Player of the Year back-to-back years on the same team. First time it's ever happened. So we salute Aliyah Boston. We salute Dawn Staley. Amazing awards, amazing talent. And it's only getting better. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your boy, Captain Will. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. Let's go.